Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction or read-through for Omniscient Reader or Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint chapters 107, 108, and 109, and I'm excited to finish this arc out, and then next week I'll be streaming. I'll let you know when, but I'll be streaming probably around like 4 or 5 p.m. EST, EDT. I think technically it's EDT right now. And I'll do a character tier list. I'll stream a character tier list like I did for Kubera. We'll do that next week, and then the week after next we'll be back for 110 onward. So I'm excited to get to read these. This arc has been very, very good. Omniscient Reader has just been very, very good, but also just continually getting better and better. I had a lot of things I loved about the last time around. The action was really good, the character stuff was really good, the art and the visuals are always absolutely like mind-blowingly good. All of that was amazing. Something that I mentioned last time is that very, very often in a series it feels like authors or creators will have a difficult time making their main character look bad. They'll always want the main character to look good. Even if the main character suffers a loss or something, it's a very soft loss. They'll make it look like the main character did everything they could and still looked really, really cool anyway. But I love that Omniscient Reader isn't afraid to have Dokja be imperfect, to have Dokja fail at things, to have him make simple mistakes, to mess up, to not always look the strongest. I think that it's incredible that the authors allow Dokja to just not be completely perfect all the time. I think that really, really, really helps the series, and something that I brought up in the comments that I forgot to say in the actual, or neglected to say in the actual video itself, is that very often also, especially this goes for like manhwa webtoons, there's always this sense of like the main character has to be way stronger and way more important than everyone else. It always feels like the main character needs to get the big final blow. The main character needs to be in a situation where everybody else has exhausted all their abilities and none of them are really useful in this situation, and the main character has to save the day. There has to be this gap between how important or how powerful the main character is from everyone else, and I like that ORV, again, Dokja is important. He is getting powerful, but ORV takes time to let the other characters still shine, like Huiwon here especially. It doesn't have to be Dokja getting the final blow. It doesn't have to be Dokja being the one who looks cool all the time. Other characters are allowed to look cool. Other characters are, or at least if Dokja still is the most, like obviously the main character, the most important, the most involved character, even if he's the most important and most involved, the other characters don't feel like there's this massive gap, like they just can't do anything in comparison to him. I really like that as well. So all of that was very good, and let's start reading. We're starting with 107 this time, right after the presumable final blow here from Huiwon. Am I going to die now? Personal skill fourth wall is shaking. A beast lord usually doesn't die from a wound like that, but she was up against the flames of hell that eradicate all evil. Level 2 of Omniscient Reader's Viewpoints now in continuous effect due to increased immersion. I'm glad I came to this round. I'm glad I did what the captain told me to. It pains me that I have to die like this. Now you'll be able to die without any worries. Some things might even change for real this time around. I don't want to die. Is it okay if I go on a little dramatic rant since I'm about to die now? We've put on an excellent scenario. And the Dokubi reacts. A few constellations not in agreement. Some constellations are voicing their dissatisfaction. Are you leaving? And then, I guess so. I guess you didn't hate me enough. Why is he acting like a total prick up to the end, thinks Dokja. There's something I desperately want to hear from you. She's thinking still. I want to ask you something. What is it? I wish I could hear it, even if it's just once. Who's the demon that helped you cross between worlds? She's surprised. To the end. You're so predictable, Captain. You haven't changed at all. Tell me. That's why I looked up to you. Have you heard of the Demon of the Horizon? I know the name. You'll see him too if you're unlucky. But don't ever try to fight it. You'll never be able to defeat it no matter how hard you try. I'll watch you for all the years to come. Jung... And then she smiles. And get my revenge on you. And Dokja's surprised. Goodbye, Captain. You did good. I'll leave the rest to you then. Rest now. What a great scene. And they didn't need to speak the words out loud. I love Dokja's role in this. The way he's hearing what they're saying and also their thoughts. And him like wanting to say something, then getting stopped. Oh, it's so good. They already knew. She's pretty. I'm jealous. Constellation, demonic judge of fire, closes her eyes. Constellation, prisoner of the golden headband, lets out a sigh. And it just... We have seen these same few constellations since the very, very beginning of the series, and it just makes you wonder what happens when they get like really involved towards the end game. Dokja goes up to her and activates the Beast King ability. Are you sure? Really? But why? She finishes vanishing. Okay, and then we have Chapter 21, Something That Cannot Be Changed, Part 9. Is she really dead? Isn't there a way to change this? Really? Why are you all crying? You're gonna make me cry too, says GA. Mid-grade Dokubi, end the scenario, says Byung. And he's pissed. If you won't, I'll do it myself. The 5th main scenario has come to an end. The sun rises. The rewards are being calculated. Again, what a gorgeous shot. I made it. We have the randoms and the prison group. That Dokubi. I'll kill him. I'm going to kill him myself, says young Yusung. Wait, Yusung? And we have the spark from them. Is this going to be another Dokubi, or is it a constellation? Or I guess it could just be more of the terraforming? The Dokubi looks surprised though. The Dokubi enforcers? So are these like high level Dokubi? Or high grade, whatever they want to judge them by. Oh, they're capturing him for meddling too much, I would assume. What's the meaning of this? Mid-grade Dokubi Paul. You're under arrest for violating the rules of the Star Stream. And then we end there. That's an interesting cliffhanger. We have actual like Dokubi enforcers coming in to capture the mid-grade. Okay. Very, very, very good chapter. Like, I feel like that's one of those things that would, if I was not recording, if I was reading on my own, that would have made me like super, I was tearing up a little bit. I would have probably been super emotional were I reading on my own and not trying to focus on making a video. That was an incredibly good chapter though. A really amazing end to this arc that's been going on with the characters here, Yusung especially. We have some hints at things in the future as well. It was all really, 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 really good. And as for like what Dokja was doing at the end, I wonder if it's... I don't think it's just like absorbing her power necessarily, but maybe it's a promise to keep carrying on her will into the future, or to take care of the young her. I don't think he was sending her back through time or anything. I don't think that was the situation. But we still have 2 more. And since we're ending at 109, and I was told that 107 or 109 were good places to end, I am interested to see what the next two are then. If this is epilogue stuff, if this is transitioning us into something new, if we're just going to deal with these Dokubi enforcers. So yeah, I wonder what this will all be. Let's go to chapter 108. You'll be handed over to the enforcers as of now. You can choose to remain silent on the scenario you were in charge of, and you'll lose all rights to handle the main scenarios. You will also be... Hold on. You can choose to remain silent on the scenario you were in charge of, and you... Okay, so you can choose that, but either way, you're losing all rights to handle the main scenarios, it seems like. You'll be demoted, or you'll also be demoted to a low-grade Dokubi, and all the achievements you've earned so far will be annulled. For your punishment... demotion. Wait, hold on a second. What do you mean a demotion? Shouldn't you at least tell me what I did wrong? I believe I ended the scenario perfectly. Look at the constellations. They're all having fun, aren't they? I haven't broken any rules of plausibility. I enforced the scenario under the agreement of the constellations. And the constellations are... This is the problem with streamers. All they can think about is the constellations. And he's surprised. Not all Dokubi respect the constellations. Enforcers. They're ex-constellations who've fallen out of grace due to unavoidable reasons, and were transformed into Dokubi. I guess maybe, like, if you're... all the constellations we've seen so far are like gods, like we've seen like fables or whatever. So it's like there seem to be the tiers between like gods, mythical characters, and real people who are heavily revered. So if you're, say, like a real person who's heavily revered, but then people just kind of forget about you, you fall out of history, or say you were a popular fictional character, a fable told through generations, and then people stop telling your stories, or if you were a god that was lost to history, the civilization that worshipped you just got wiped out, then at one point you were a constellation, but I would assume that if there are no people left to remember or revere you, then you would be made into a Dokubi. This is what I would assume, but then again, it's like we're involving other planets and stuff. And what does a constellation that is from that other planet, there's no one on Earth who even knows about them, so I guess maybe that isn't correct. The same way that, say, like a Korean naval hero is unknown mostly outside of Korea. In addition to that, it's like a person on another planet would have no idea they existed to begin with. Scenario enforcement can only be used when the constellations are willing to share the responsibility of breaking the rule of plausibility. I know that. It's because of the dangers of the aftermath that comes from breaking plausibility. But as long as the constellations are satisfied, that will... Satisfied? Look at yourself, Paul. And then, this is... Why am I under the effect of the aftermath of breaking plausibility? Paul, you had the chance to end the scenario without resorting to scenario enforcement. It was a refreshing turn of events. Why'd you put a stop to it? Because of your meddling the Soul Dome's administrations under emergency. Wait, hold on. But I used scenario enforcement under the agreement of the constellations. Constellations, did you not agree that I should use scenario enforcement? Constellations? What a fool you are. And then, it's not as fun as I expected, I'm assuming the top one. And then people are leaving. Sorry, I'm just going through the names of them. So, it's, I assume, one of these situations where he was like, oh yeah, the constellations, there were ones that were happy with the way things were playing out because it was a twist. And he's like, no, I'll do it for the ones who want things to go the way they're supposed to be, with the catastrophe being taken out. And most of the ones who were doing that, who agreed with him because of that, were really just doing it to get revenge against Dokja and Bi Young. So now that it's like, okay, time to face the consequences, they're not actually, they didn't care that much. They're not going to back up Paul. In fact, again, there's going to be ones that are like, oh, well, I thought I wanted this, but it's not that great. It's like he's thinking that, oh yeah, this is what they really wanted, when really it was more about revenge and they didn't care that much, and they aren't really going to care about the consequences that a Dokubi has to face. Didn't you realize that the constellations have left already? And he's shocked. The many constellations who incited Paul to kill Dokja left the channel as soon as the plot started to turn into a tearjerker. 1/3 of them left my channel too. And only the constellations who are in support of Dokja remain in the channel. Constellation Demonic Judge of Fire is glaring at the mid-grade Dokubi Paul. Constellation Prisoner of the Golden Headband is smirking at the mid-grade Dokubi Paul. Constellation Secretive Plotter is mocking the mid-grade Dokubi Paul. I've been set up. And then Dokubi curses. This can't be. Enforcers arrest him. Young's face. I have proof that his channel broke the rules of the Star Stream. Of course, he will go with you. It was Young who called us here after all. What are you... Could it be? Young called the cops? You've already been punished twice. This is your 3rd time. So why'd you have to do something like that? You must be well aware what awaits you as your 3rd punishment. And, man, he just waves. I freaking love Young. This doesn't make any sense. Do you think my superior will allow this? You're making a mistake. If you take me now... Wait, hold on. And they're leaving? Dokja looks on. Because, of course, in the end, Dokja wants to tear down the constellations in this whole system, it seems. Were you talking to us just now? They turn to him. Young, I'll give you 100,000 coins. Upgrade me to a platinum member of the Dokubi shop. What? Just do it. Damn it. Incarnation Kim Dokja. Why did you call us? I want to use private meeting with Dokubi. What? But that is reserved for platinum members or above. Wait. How's an incarnation a platinum member? Again, Dokja becoming more and more like a constellation himself. Not like in the sense that he views them as like callous gods that are bad for conducting this whole Starstream business, but in the sense that he is doing more and more things they're doing. I do qualify for it, right? I see. Which Dokubi would you like a private meeting with? At Platinum, you can choose any mid to high grade Dokubi, and the meeting will be... There's no need for that. You guys have the one I want to speak with. Paul looks back. I request a private meeting with the mid-grade Dokubi, Paul. He's pissed. Okay, so is he going to somehow leverage the dire situation that Paul is in to kind of force Paul onto his side as well, so he has another pawn he can use? I mean, Paul doesn't look very useful in the state he's in, with him getting a demotion, being captured and everything, but having more Dokubi on his side, like inside the system, is maybe a good thing for Dokja. We have 3 promises, part 1. No way. They smile. We will permit the private meeting with the prisoner Paul. Your private meeting will be, your private meeting with the mid-grade Dokubi Paul will begin. You have 20 minutes. And this isn't the same as the Dokgak situation? A private meeting? What scheme are you trying to pull now? Are you here to mock me? Stop bluffing. I know that you're defenseless right now. Now I see what you want from me. You want to avenge the death of that catastrophe, right? Sure. Go on ahead. I don't know how you learned about private meetings, but we can't kill each other while we're here, no matter how hard you try. And he punches him, sending him flying down. And people can see the effects on the sphere. How dare you? I can't kill you, but I can still beat you up. You've never felt pain like this before, have you? I'm sure you've never been beaten up like this, says a Dokubi. You're making a big mistake. There are special rules set in place for people like you who exploit private meetings. You have harmed a Dokubi in the private meeting space. 500 coins have been deducted as a penalty. That's nothing, though. Foolish human, go on. Take your best shot. With the little coin you have as an incarnation... Just how much do you think I have right now? How could I, just a regular incarnation, have become a platinum member? He looks horrified. I have a lot of coins. I've earned a lot, thanks to you. Coins in possession, 205,902. This is the first of the promises I have to keep. Okay, so the promises might have been to Yusung at the very end. I thought the title was going to refer to making promises to Paul. Okay then, so revenge on the Dokubi. I would assume the 3 promises then maybe are revenge on the Dokubi, taking care of the young Yusung, and protecting or making sure that Yu Jung-hyuk doesn't turn bad, so to speak. I would assume those are what the 3 are, just given Yusung and what she cares about. But again, another very, 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 very good chapter. And I'm excited to continue, so let's go straight into 109. I'm going to beat that damn Dokubi to a pulp. And then we have their final moment. He kicks Paul. 500 coins have been deducted as a penalty. Wait, stop. This is utterly pointless. This won't bring back your dead friend. And I love the different reactions we see from these 3 and then these 3. I exist outside of the scenarios. You can't earn any coins doing this. There's nothing to gain from doing this. Going on about that damn coin again. I'm doing this because I have nothing to gain from it. What? You Dokubi only think about gains and losses. But humans find the purpose of life in pointless things like this. The Constellation Prisoner of the Golden Headband's excited by the plot twist that's never been seen before. True, you've been gifted 500 points. Another shot on me, says Sun Wukong. So, again, we're seeing more of how, again, a human constellation beating up a Dokubi, that's something completely novel to them. You'd think Dok'd be getting even more popular. I'm not putting on a show this time, he looks up. You've returned the 500 coins you were gifted. The Constellation Prisoner of the Golden Headband is flustered. Again, he's more using the constellations as powers and the system that they've established kind of against them, kind of forging his own path, because we know that eventually he wants to go against them. They are he said, like at the beginning of the series, they are the big main enemy to him. Constellation Secretive Plotter is intrigued by your actions. And of course I think that not every... it's so difficult, because the constellations have all played into this whole apocalypse scenario stuff, but at the same time, it feels like it seems too simplistic to say they're all evil. Like, not every constellation is going to be evil, and I'm talking about evil from like a human perspective, because we know they've already established that human perspective evil and constellation perspective evil are 2 different things. Spare me, please. Constellation Demonic Judge of Fire is touched by your actions. You better answer my questions if you want to live. Where is Yusung's soul? Right now. Okay. Chapter 22, 3 Promises, Part 2. So, Yusung's soul. I know about the whole film thing, but that actually brings up another new question. Is it, like, since it's kind of like diverging timelines, do the different timelines of you all have different souls? So there's, like, a bunch of different Yusung, like, theoretical Yusung souls? And he's talking about the Yusung soul that just died. But I'm just like, so I guess the Yusung soul from the body that just died is a different soul from the Yusung that's alive right now in this universe? Private meeting with the Dokubis ended. It looks as though you've already been through a lot even before your punishment began. And then Dokja returns to the others. Did you bribe them? Of course, but haven't you spent too many coins just now? I've still got a lot left. As expected, the demons handed the Dokubi Beast Lord Shin Yusung. Okay. So they're using the term demons once again. Ooh, I just remembered something. Okay, I'll get to this at the end of the read-through. There were some weird translation things that I was warned about that I'll bring up at the end of this. Okay, I haven't looked at them yet. Lucky sent them to me but had them spoiler tagged, so I'll look at those when I get to the end of this chapter. I actually almost forgot. Okay, the demons handed the Dokubi Beast Lord Shin Yusung. Okay. And the contract fell in the hands of the demons during that transaction. That seems like a weird translation. Maybe that's one of the things that's weird. I did not know that. Because you borrowed the power of the archangels, our contract with them was nullified. You will never be able to find her. Her poor soul now enters the labyrinth of the worlds. So if you die, you enter the labyrinth of the worlds. We still don't know what this means, or like the labyrinth she was in before for like hundreds of years or whatever. The calculations of the additional rewards have been delayed due to a scenario error. Okay. I won't be able to contact you while I'm visiting the administration. So, I'll leave the channel open so don't cause any trouble while I'm gone, please. That's good. Now there isn't anyone who'll object to what I'm about to do next. Just immediate. The Dokubi leave. Okay. Sangha, could you summon Lover of the Abandoned Labyrinth? Before Yusung died, I had promised her a few things using the skill Sentiments of the Beast King. Don't worry, you won't die. What do you mean? I'll help you so that you can be revived. I've done it twice already. It's not as bad as you might think. I don't know how long it's going to take, but if you'd want, as long as you don't give up, I promise you that I'll bring you back to life. Okay, never mind. I didn't expect that. If Yusung's souls entered the labyrinth of the worlds, it'll be impossible to bring her back to life. But there's still a chance. If only I could retrieve her soul. No matter what world a soul comes from, all souls pass through the afterlife when leaving this world. And the constellation involved with the afterlife who I can strike a deal with is... So I guess all of the afterlife constellations exist all in the same... same universe here? Is there like a shared Hades, Anubis, like just underworld, like all of them are there? Olympus, I want to make a deal with you. Now, grant me a meeting with your king of the underworld. It's time for me to keep my second promise. So is Hades going to embody her now? Listen, Dokja, could you tell me what your supporting constellation told you? What harsh things have they said to her for her to look so sad? She told me, the father of the rich knight isn't someone she can call upon. Father of the rich knight. This is the nickname for one of the big three of Olympus, Hades, the king of the underworld. Ariadne is only a historical constellation. Hades must be too high of a rank for her to call upon. But Dokja, is that even possible? She must have realized I'm trying to revive Yusung. To revive someone who died is impossible in principle. If you could do that without any penalties, Junghyuk wouldn't have needed to regress every time he died. I mean, I have the effects of the King of No Killing. But if I can retrieve her soul somehow... I'm sorry, I can't tell you anything for now. I can't reveal my plans while the constellations are watching. So again, we keep getting hinted. He just needs to retrieve her soul. But he can't tell even us as readers, apparently, what his plans are once he has her soul. And many constellations have come to hate me through this scenario. But I've made my move already. I just need to wait for them to take the bait. Okay, and that's where we end. That is interesting. Okay, very good set of 3 chapters. There's a lot going on here. And next chapter, we're presumably going to be transitioning into maybe the next full main scenario, the next arc. I'm excited to see what that could possibly be, but before I end the video, let me go look at those alternate translation things. Okay, I don't think any of them are big enough that I'm gonna like pull them up on screen. It's just all of them are in 107 when we're at the Yusung death scene, where first there's the, thought bubble saying now you'll be able to die with, or the text saying now you'll be able to die without any worries, or it should be Yusung being like now I'll be able to die without any worries, while she's thinking I don't want to die, showing the difference again like all the other bubbles where she's thinking and saying different things. And then the next one where there's a thought bubble saying I'll watch you for all the years to come, when it should be I'll remember you for all the years to come. Or they said there's also a different translation where it's Yusung thinking and it's I've admired or watched you for a long time, which both make sense in the context of what's going on, so it could be either really. And then lastly, when Yu Jung-hyuk is thinking and get my revenge on you, it should definitely be get revenge for you or something. So thank you to Lucky for all of those corrections there with the translation, and thank you all for watching. I'm going to go ahead and finish this up so I can get it posted for you. I'm running a day behind doing this on Wednesday instead of the usual Tuesday that I aim for, so since I'm running a teeny bit behind, sorry it's a day late. Thank you for watching though. Like if you did like the video, comment down there. Tell me what you thought of these 3 chapters, my first thoughts and reaction to them. I really did enjoy these a lot. I think this has been very good. And like I said, remember next week I'll be streaming sometime midday for me, hopefully, like again 4 or 5 p.m. and I'll do a tier list like I did for Kubera, and then I'll continue on the read through once I do that tier list. So special stream for ORV next week. And then if I ever have other things that I want to do, like discussions or theories, or I mean, I guess since the volumes are already all done, pretty sure, there's like theories. I don't like doing theories for things that are like kind of already finished. The answers are already out there. I don't really like doing that because it's like, what's the point? It's like the answers are already out there. I'm just waiting to get to them. But if I ever want to do more discussions or rankings or anything like that, review certain things, I definitely will. It's just harder to do when I'm not caught up. That stuff will kind of wait until I'm more caught up. Then I'll do more discussion ranking type stuff. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe for more. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, it's free and open for anyone. Just ask and I can give you a link. If you'd like to help support the channel, you can drop a super thanks down below if you'd like to. If you want to be my supporting constellation, you can go to patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description, or hit join down below to become a channel member. Thank you to people who are already patrons and channel members. Thank you to Chosen, Regular, Evan Hawley, Magical Girls, FR Abyss Knight, and JA, Cherryton students, David Langstaff and Folded Ghoul, Slayer candidates, SG and Stan Cedar, and Pure Element Pate Ardialo. Thank you all so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.